Hello, good morning. This is Teacher Terry again with one of my unsolicited adventures of online teaching. And something that you're going to notice in many of your companies is the screenshot requirement. That ominous, that deceitful, that unnecessary, and oftentimes unavailable screenshot. You see, a lot of times what happens is you're online and you're teaching away and boom, something happens and you're at this crispus. You're trying to get in and trying to get something done real quick, so you're running through your deals quickly on autopilot, and suddenly it throws you into a late. Or maybe you entered the classroom and one of your companies has a penalty or something. And then you say, but I was trying to get in, it was slow, it wasn't doing this. And what's the first thing that they tell you? Where's your screenshot? Well, hey, dummy. I was in the process of loading in, and this thing's circling around doing this number. I finally get in, but I'm too worried about getting in to do a screenshot, because if I do a screenshot and I go too far, then I get absent. Now, I do work for a company that if you get an absent, they really put the screw to you. I like the company a lot, I really do, but they got some real bad penalties. One of them is if they sub one of your classes, you lose your pay for that class, plus they charge you for 2 more classes. You have to make up for one class, you have to do maybe 20 more in an entire month just to make up for that one lost class. You see, they manipulate it to their benefit. So what you do is, they have a platform issue. You're not able to go back and get the screenshot because it's already happened. Therefore, you can't prove what did happen, so they go ahead and get 200 or 300% of your money for that one class. They're sitting there going, 1, 2, 3, screw you. You can't do anything about it. You don't have a screenshot. You see, those screenshots are a double-edged sword. What it forces you to do is every single time you try to get in, you have to take the screenshot, which means you need to have a file sitting over here with a billion screenshots in there just in case they ask you, where's your screenshot? Which means you have to keep up with the class, the name of the class, the time of the class, so that you can go through these screenshots and look at all your times. Which means you got to be typing notes on those screenshots while you're trying to get into those classes, unless you're taking notes and you're good at doing that. These companies are notorious for it. And you have to remember, there's no need for outdated or late screenshots. It is a scam. It is a manipulative tool they use against you so that you cannot get paid. You will find some of the old companies like 51 Talk. CABC actually wasn't very bad about it. 51 Talk, I knew enough people that kind of knew how to get around some of it. But let's just use those as an example. They always said screenshot. Now, they're recording. The minute you log into a class, they're supposed to be recording. They know what's going on with their platform. Why do you have to prove what's wrong with their platform when they already know what's wrong with your platform? Either they don't have a brain cell, or they're sitting back wanting to put the blame on you so they can hang on to their money. Remember, Chinese have this mentality, money in, little out. It's an Asian thing. I'm just saying Chinese, I shouldn't say Asian thing. And for the most part, we have good experiences. I have great experiences with companies I work for, so I really am just kind of venting on a couple of things that happened here recently. One of them was because I tried to log in, I tried to log in again, and the thing is it logged me out. I logged back in, it logged me out. Now, they claim that they don't have a record of it, which they may or may not. I don't know. If I didn't actually get in, how would they have a record? But they should have a timestamp where somebody's trying to pop in. Anyway, one particular company that I know of, you have to start your class, let's say at 1 o'clock. Now, you end the class supposedly at 1:45, but sometimes you go over, okay. But you have to log into your next class at 5 minutes till. Here's your catch. If you don't, you're late. Hey, how can I be late? Class hasn't started. But they're going to charge you for it. But I'm not late. My class hasn't started. There's not even a student in the classroom. But I'm late. They're going to charge you for it. And if that class starts and it goes over 1 or 2 minutes, or at least begins at 1 minute over, back at 1:01, and you're not in that classroom, bam, they automatically slam in an emergency sub, and you just lost 300% of the cost of that class. What kind of mentality? This is an Asian mentality to actually screw you out of money. Let me give you another example right here. Just a moment. Now, from one company, country that I happen to have, here it says that I have a 1-year visa. Okay? 1-year visa. I'm legal for 1 year. But this other little piece of paper says every 90 days I have to go in and I have to report. Are you still here? They can't get their brain cell together at the airport, stamp his visa just stamped out of the system. No, that requires the app to think. But if I go over this date, right here, my 90 day, they use this mentality. You've overstayed. You owe 500 of the currency per day because you overstayed. Now, wait a minute. Now, let's take this Asian mentality. This says I'm good for a whole year. This says say hello every 3 months. Now, if this says I'm okay for a year, I haven't overstayed because I've got a visa for 1 year. I am legal for 1 year. How come I have to pay overstay? I didn't go over this date. See, another idiotic Asian mentality to screw you out of money. You're not late. You haven't done anything wrong. You're trying your best to get there. And in that case right there, let's say that I'm in the south of the country, but where I live, I'm on vacation. Where I live is in the very north of the country. I can't go into the southern thing over there and say, hey, I'm here, here's my 90. Oh no, you got to go way up there and do that yourself. Forces you into overstay. Why? You're in one of their government offices. You're in an immigration office. But, oh, it's not mine. Sorry about that. You got to go all the way up there. Screw you. I want your money. Now, this is very similar to what happens when you're working online. Hey, I wasn't late for my class. I finally got, oh, but you didn't get there 5 minutes early before the class actually started, so you're late. No, I'm not. The class hasn't started yet. Hello, the bell didn't go off yet. Ding, 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 ding. Class time, students, please sit down. Now, I got hit with that. And here's another one. Now, you can't please everybody all the time. So for this last particular month, I was getting 5-star ratings. Bam, 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 bam. Even if they don't rate you, they're still considered good, and you're getting at least one point credit for it, even for those. But I mean, I'm knocking down 5-star deals. I got in one class. A couple of ladies were very good. They were old, students I'd had for a long time, and they started talking. And I actually probably should have kind of said, "Hey, shut the hell up and let's ask somebody else." Now, in the discussion part, yeah, they talk too much. I agree. In the activity part, I included everybody, and I had one student in there. Now let's get this. The first 4 classes in the morning, I was getting 5 stars. The last student in this one was a new student, gives me a complaint, 0 star, which cost me 50% of that class. One student out of 4, and I lost 50% of my class because I didn't get enough time to speak. I don't think that's fair. And if I can't speak, why am I taking this course? I can do everything myself. I can do the text myself. Why am I paying money? And then the class right after that, I got 5 stars. The class after that, I got 5 stars. One student out of hundreds of students gives me one complaint, and I lose 50% of my classroom time. That is what I want to say is bullshit. Now, maybe 25%, okay, I might be able to justify that. This is what they do. They play these games on you. Chinese think if you ignore the problem, Asians think if you ignore the problem, it goes away. They believe that you got to be able to please every single person in the world, even though they know you can't do it. They hold you to this standard, this double-edged sword, and that's any little thing they can do to steal money, to take money, to keep money from you, they will. Now, like I said, I happen to like the company I work for. I don't love some of the things they do. I love the company I work for. I don't like some of the things they do. Do you understand what I'm saying there? Be very careful about these companies. And the reason that they're able to do it is because there's a whole lot of wannabes out there flooding the market with these little bitty cheap TEFLs, thinking they're great teachers, putting on dog and pony shows, and you have become expendable. This is exactly what's going on with this company. This company is saying, hey, refer people, hire people, let's get people in here. They're all doing it. They're all doing it. They're rolling people out, rotating people out. It's a scam, people. Right now, I don't recommend anybody actually work for an online company as a new starting career. I recommend you look for something else, maybe an e-commerce or selling clothes or something else online where you're your own boss. Because if you're dealing with these people from overseas and your income is dependent upon these people from overseas, remember, they can screw you, and you can't just drive over to the office building, knock on the door, and say, hey, what the hell's the matter with this? Can't do it. It's teach Terry with those online adventures. Be careful what you want. Beware of those screenshots. Beware of those penalties.